This, more than anything, will show you how much the Browns need to add to the defensive line. So Myles Garrett, 16 sacks in 2022. That's among the league's best. The rest of the Browns combined had 18. That will tell you also why Myles Garrett was the most double-teamed man in the NFL as well.
When you look at it, and obviously there was a sunken cost there. You paid over $14 million for Jadeveon Clowney to be on this team. He didn't even finish second in sacks, had less than 3. That's an alarming number for a guy that you handed a check to for $14 million. Yes, he missed some games. He missed some games in 2021 as well, but you still got 9.5 sacks. Alex Wright, learning on the fly. Isaiah Thomas, learning on the fly. Perrion Winfrey, learning on the fly. I think these guys are all guys that can be capable of being contributors with a Jim Schwartz defense. But when you only get, when you add the numbers together, obviously you are talking about 34 sacks. That is a very, very low number. You look at a team like the Philadelphia Eagles playing in the NFC Championship game Sunday, 3 guys alone in double digits in sacks. It's huge. And it's the mix of interior pass rush, which certainly will help Myles Garrett and will certainly help anybody else that's on the edge. But you've got to get more opposite Myles, to think that Myles puts out this production while being double teamed and held, if you want to be honest, as much as he possibly is. Imagine what it'd be like if he was out there playing. Imagine if he was out there with a Fletcher Cox, if he was out there with a Javon Hargraves, if he was out there with a Brandon Graham. Imagine him out there in a foursome like that. This is the division that Jim Schwartz wants to create on his defensive line. He wants all the players to be able to contribute, all the players to be, above average. So you can't just say, oh, we'll double team this guy. We'll take this guy out. That's not the way he wants to play. And, defensive line play overall for a lot of fans to watch this process through free agency and maybe through the draft process. There's going to be a lot that's maybe over their heads if you're not really that deep into it. But again, it is integral. It's going to be interior players. It's going to be edge rushers. The Browns have a lot of work to do. And with a guy like Jim Schwartz, at least they're going with a guy who has shown every step of the road, if you give him what he needs, he will get you what you want as your end result, a defense that will finish in the top 10 and, will not give up a ton of yards, will get after quarterbacks, will create turnovers, and most importantly, give your offense the possibility and the position to be winning games and maybe even winning games in the fourth quarter where you can go to Nick Chubb, close out ball games as opposed to trying chasing points, chasing yards late in the game with your running back being your best skill player.